Victor Adair joins me live from the trading desk. I mean, Vic, every week there's no shortage of things to talk about, but I'm keeping my eye on that oil price, that Canadian dollar, obviously the stocks. What was top for you?
Canadian dollar is really front and center this week, Mike. I tell you, we had some data that was released last evening after the markets were closed. This comes from the regulator of the futures markets in the United States, the CFTC. The information that came out yesterday was that as of Tuesday of last week, this week past, that's the 9th, as of Tuesday, there had been a massive increase in speculative short positions in the Canadian dollar. I talked about this a bit last week, saying you've got this huge position. It was already huge. Now it's gone to massive. Let me tell you, the international sentiment about Canada, and sentiment trumps facts anytime, when people are just acting in the market, you bet with your heart, not with your mind. International sentiment on Canada has taken a very negative turn. You know, this Moody's hit this past week. Last week, the headlines were Home Capital. Something that a lot of people might not have seen, there was an interview in the Economist magazine with Donald Trump. Holy mackerel. I mean, he almost sounded vicious against Canada. People see that sort of thing. And the point is here, I've often talked on this show about what we call positioning risk. When the market gets hugely one-sided bets, you know, you can have the market extend, but I think we're setting up the conditions here for some real volatility in price change on the Canadian dollar.
When you look at the low, do you go back to the old low to sort of give you a first stopping point?
Well, listening to Tyler there, it's very good in terms of looking back on, where a trend has been before. The low we had in January of 16, I think, was around 68 cents, and then you go back to 2002, we're at 62 cents. I'm not looking that deep right at the moment. I'm thinking on the basis of the facts, as I see them anyway, that Canada has a real good chance of trading below 70 cents this year, but that's given that crude oil rolls over. And if we get down below 70 cents, then clearly last year's lows are our target.
Very quickly with the crude oil here, I know you were saying this last week, that you were, after that drop, which you anticipated, you were looking for a bounce. It looks like we got it.
Yeah, well, we've had a bounce, and, that's kind of disappointing because, we've been short crude. You hate to see it rally 10% like that from a trading position, but you got to live with it. We think it's a correction, but, with trading, as I keep saying, it's way more about risk management than it is having a great crystal ball. Nobody's got a crystal ball. You make a calculated bet where you think things are going, and you got to live with the results if you're wrong. So, yeah, we've had a bounce. I'm thinking it's over. We're starting to look at maybe adding to our short position, rolling it out a little bit. But, yes, we've had a bounce. That's what markets do. They go one way for a while, they go the other way, and, we think it's just a bounce at this point. We think that crude oil prices can tip over. Really interested to hear what Tyler had to say. If we break the lows we had like 10 days ago, then, Katie bar the door, we maybe run it down well below $40.
Hey, I just want to remind people that they can go to polarfutures.com, and you can get Victor's latest thoughts with that. Is that the right web address, Vic?
Just about, Mike. It's Polar Futures Group. That's
I thought I was missing group there. See, it's automatic on my browser, so I don't have to type it in each time. So that's polarfuturesgroup.com. You can get Victor's latest notes on what he thinks, not just of the stuff I talk about, interesting stuff he's got there on iron ore, which I found very, very interesting, but how you put this all together. Vic, thanks, and go and have a great weekend.
Thanks, Mike. You too.